Man these shields, boys! Remember this day, men, for it will be yours for all time.
Welcome to the night zone, hear the warriors speak. Life's the battlefield and we ain't feeling weak. From love to the game and the power we seek. Got a voice, a strong breaking every peak. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Politics and prayers, ain't no subject we shun. Keep it real, keep it raw till the battle's won. Fitness tips to faith, every topic under the sun. With honor and valor, every man's battle begun. Warriors with words, swords through the air. Every point sharp and every talk fair. Knights at the round table, come and pull up a chair. Join the brotherhood, words laid bare. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Warriors with words, swords through the air. Every point sharp and every talk fair. Knights at the round table, come and pull up a chair. Join the brotherhood, words laid bare. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave.
All right, greetings everybody. Welcome to the Guys Night Podcast. New year, new me is around the corner, so we thought we'd touch on fitness again. Lucky to have a couple of visitors this evening that know a lot about it, have some tremendous stories that I've heard a little bit about, and can't wait to hear a little bit more. And more than that, they're out there helping other people, whether it's veterans, whether it's your first time getting in there. And I think we've even got a story of somebody losing over 400 pounds, so I can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. So let's get this thing started. Please like, share, comment, do something so that we can get some attention on this and continue to have these conversations with guys everywhere. Look forward to an episode we're doing in 2 weeks where we're going to have some information. We're going to do a little biohacking special. We've got somebody coming on to talk about cold plunges and saunas, as well as somebody that's going to talk a little about what kind of blood work you need to be getting done as a man and how you can make sure that you're staying ahead of your genetics. And things like that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about dry needling and some other self-care that you guys can do too. So make sure you stay tuned to that. But without further ado, Kyle, welcome to the show. Tell us a little about yourself, man.
What's up, guys? I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I help get veterans sober. I lost over 130 pounds now. I've been alcohol-free for 2 years. I got really religious, and now I just teach other people how to take control of their lives. Probably the most controversial person on the fucking internet. So my Instagram is Perry's_powerhouse_fitness. But if you live in your mom's basement, do not follow me. You will fucking cry yourself to sleep. People message every podcast I'm on, like, don't have him. I was on Brad Lee's podcast, and like 5 people were like, he's the biggest piece of shit ever, dude. Don't have him on there. And then, like, that podcast went crazy. So,
hate is easy to find, dude.
for sure. It is.
If they're not hating you, you're not relevant, right?
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Nick, welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, my name is Nick Montaquila. My Instagram handle is Beefcake19. So come follow me. I do online and in-person coaching for bodybuilding and life fitness coaching. So I'm also a NPC bodybuilding competitor, and I hopefully going to make a strong national run this year. So that's my Instagram background.
Hell yeah, man. And Dejan, welcome aboard, man.
Thank you, guys. Dejan Jajcevic. Instagram is All Might Dejan, from the cartoon character from My Hero. I'm a nerd, if you could just tell by the sleeve. So it's easy to be a nerd with me about anything. I'm co-owner to Center Stage Aesthetics and bodybuilding prep coach and lifestyle. So
Awesome. And then Evan, anchoring the end of the table. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. This is my 11th time again.
Yeah.
So I'm great to be back, and can't wait to hear some of these stories these guys have.
Yeah, and you know what? Obviously, New Year's is coming around the corner, so people are asking all kinds of questions about fitness. And there's all kinds of levels that we want to get into. Nick, obviously, you're on the competitive stage this year. That'll be awesome if you go to the national aspect of it. That's a big push. And Dejan, I know that you are putting a lot of people on that stage right now, right? And then you work with posing coaching or pose coaching and all the other different aspects of that as well.
yeah, so I get the privilege to actually help a lot of coaches with their clients for posing via FaceTime or in person. So I've made some pretty good connections with a couple of different coaches that are at different levels, and they send me their clients because it's kind of hard to have the time to prep, diet, everything, and help them with posing. So having someone they can send their people to, they know they're not going to poach their clients or misguide their information, and just focus on what I'm hired for. That's something I do. I mean, whether I see some coach do something and I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm never going to say that.
Right.
Because, that's, maybe it's their protocol and it's something I don't know that they're doing with them and they have a special circumstance. It's not good to impede on their judgment. Let them have an unbiased opinion to their preps, and I just focus on what I'm hired for.
Hell yeah. And then Kyle, tell us, let's actually get this started off with you, the most hated man, and at least in this area for sure, in the 330 area code. I didn't get any of the letters, but maybe that's because I just don't have enough people watching the podcast. But we encourage the hate. This is a position we place that men have a safe place here to talk shit and open their minds to all kinds of different alternatives. But tell us a little about what you mentioned over 300 pounds. And just to start out, the first thing I saw from you was, I believe, you telling a story on another podcast where you realized it was a problem when you were in Sam's Club. Is that right?
Yeah.
And your daughter knew what your favorite drink was?
Yeah, it was Fireball. She's like, look, Daddy, it's your favorite drink. But, like, the crazy thing is most Americans are like that. Like, their kids know their favorite drink's Bud Light or whatever. Like, most Americans, by definition, are alcoholics. Like, 100%. I just get on the internet and I talk about the old me, and it pisses the world off because 75% of Americans are overweight, living that exact same life. I was really high up in the corporate world, bro, making $100,000 plus bonus, and I just lost myself. I was sitting at this desk one day and I'm like, I fucking hate my life. I hate everyone in all these fucking loser ass fucking people I surrounded myself with. I don't like none of these bitches, none of these fucking chumps, none of them. I'm losing weight. I'm getting back in shape. I'm acting like I was in the Marine Corps, and I started living every day like I was in boot camp again. And I haven't stopped. I ruck every day and I work out every day. And then I just live every single day the exact same. And then I just try to teach other people to take control of their lives. And then I try to support other people too, because I hit him up to help me with my shit and get more into bodybuilding. That's what's fucked up with this industry is they'll hate the next person instead of just networking together. Like that posing thing you said, that's sick. Most people don't fucking live life like that. They just hate on the next man.
Yeah, I think all three of us work really well together. Like, I work with Dan all the time with some of his posing stuff, and we all cohabitate. Even though we kind of do the same thing, nobody's bitter or competitive. I think that's the difference between sometimes men and women too. Like, men, we can coexist together, where sometimes women can be a little bit more catty about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't feel threatened. You want to surround yourself with successful kind of men.
Real men don't fucking feel threatened by other men.
Yeah,
that's the fact. That's what's wrong with society is a bunch of pussy ass men walking around offended by the real men.
Yeah, and they complain about a lot that's going on, but then if somebody calls them out for it, then they're mad at you, and then they shut you out or they block you or whatever. I've had friends where they won't talk to you because you said something that hurt their feelings. When it's like, dude, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I was just trying to tell you how it is. If you change this one thing, all the stuff you're complaining about, half of it'll go away.
Well, a lot of it. Think about it. How did successful men get to the way that they are is because they're able to take criticism and able to grow from it, right? So all of us, I can say, hey, Dejan, man, your lat pull down sucks, blah, 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 and give him some tips, and he'll take it to heart. Say, okay, cool. Maybe he'll get better with it. Maybe he'll do his own thing. But he's open-minded to it because he wants to grow, and vice versa. He could give me a tip, and I would do the same thing.
And the other thing is, too, if I'm not open to it, and I'm like, fuck it, I like what I do, I'm going to do it. That's on me, right? That doesn't mean that I have to have a certain kind of vibe or feeling towards you. And you don't have to, hey, you know what? He didn't take my advice. That's cool. That's his
and
thing.
You're like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. Whatever, I'm going to go back to you.
And you don't have to hate somebody for what they tell you either. So many people are like, oh, I hate that motherfucker now. Dude, dude, he was just. They love to say it's an unsolicited opinion. Like, there's no such thing as that. It's called good advice. Take it or not.
Yeah.
Like, unsolicited doesn't fucking exist. It's just something they use to like act like they're offended by the fucking phrase that you just told them.
It would blow your mind the amount of people that I try to like genuinely just give help to at the gym that I see doing something wrong. A lot of times like they're doing something that might hurt themselves, and you'd have thought I kicked their dog or something, dude. They're all pissed off and sad, and I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to help you grow. Like I want you to be better. I'm not asking for any compensation for this either. I'm just wasting my time here trying to give you a hand, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely one thing about the community. It's funny, I didn't realize you guys all even knew each other. Had no clue when I reached out to you guys all individually to do this.
It was my first time meeting him.
Yeah,
First time meeting him.
I know everybody.
We sat down and talked for like 2
He
hours.
links us.
What's that?
We sat down and talked for like 2 hours one day.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, Nick will definitely sit you down and talk
That's
for
right.
2 hours.
My wife calls me the mayor because every time we go somewhere, I know someone. They're like, oh, we're in like Florida, and oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, how the fuck do you know that guy? You know, yeah,
That's just how fitness is, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I think, and that's one of the things, we talked about Craig's gym here in Medina, like, and what he's trying to build, not only that gym, but his ones in Worcester and Ashland and stuff like that. Like, I really think that he builds like a community that just makes it kind of fun to hang out and talk with everybody. Like, he's like, oh, I put a pool table in here, and now, like, people don't want to leave after they work out. And then I brought up the ideas, like, my wife and I love playing sand volleyball in the summertime, and I was like, hey, how much property are you? It'd be sweet, not even for the leagues, but just to have. And he's like, oh, I can fucking do that. He's like, that'd be cool. People would hang out here all summer. And I was like, they would. Like, people will play volleyball for hours and hours and hours. And, like, he's open to it because he wants that community of, like, a gym being not just where you go to, whether you're getting prep for a show or whether it's your part of your daily routine, but, like, the people that are there that you are become a community. And then you don't leave because that's your community.
Yeah.
I think like that's kind of they're trying to create what Planet Fitness advertises in a way. Planet Fitness is the gayest fucking gym in the world. I just want to say that one more. But the concept of why people want to go there because it's a safe place and all shit is a decent concept. And actually, like one of the reasons why I'm so outgoing to a lot of people in the gym is because you get the stereotype as being a bodybuilder, like, oh, you're mean, he's steroids and roid rage and blah blah blah, and and it's really not that way. You know what I mean? So I want people. It doesn't matter whether it's day one or day 10, 15, 20 years into it. You want to support where they're at and their goals and where they're going and help them succeed and propel each other, and that's what creates a community.
And I'm not saying this just because I go to the warehouse. And I mean, I've talked to Craig personally a couple of times, but I'm not like really like, I'm not like his best friend or nothing. I travel for podcasts. I've been to damn near every state now, and I've never found a gym that is that community driven. Like gyms claim they are, but like if you go to Ontario, you can play pool with 50 people you don't even know and have like crazy conversations. And Medina has the same like atmosphere, and so does Ashland. Like I've never seen gyms like that.
Yeah,
it's like an actual community that most fitness people claim to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet setup. So Dan, tell us a little about, because obviously the thing about fitness is everybody comes from different backstories.
Yes. Well, actually, I want to touch base on the community aspect. for a
Yeah, go
second.
ahead.
So, speaking of community, it's kind of huge because when you really make that environment, it changes the perspective of everything. And what I mean by that is when I first started in bodybuilding, I was about 19. My first coach was Brian Hoydick. I know you guys talked about him.
yeah.
I
in the
didn't know
first
you were Coach
time.
Ray Bryan.
Yeah, he was
That's
my
funny.
first one. So, I was with him for a little bit and, things didn't work out as planned. And my second coach was this guy called Adam Atkinson. And he had this team. It was called See You Later Leaner, which is a great name. And then I was part of his team. And every time you'd post on Instagram, and he coaches a lot of people online mainly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've seen that come up a few times. So
Yeah, and he's definitely more pronoun towards coaching females than males. But he's a phenomenal coach, really nice guy. And every time I posted him, he shared all these people's stories. I felt like I was a part of this community, but I wasn't. And that was just a really good feeling to kind of feel like I was a part of a big team. But when it came to me stepping on my first show with him, I kind of was lost on the posing aspect. I mean, I did as much research as I could on YouTube and videos and stuff like that. And that's what led me to my current coach, Mike. I knew he did posing every Sunday with his clients. I drove out there and I talked to him. I'm like, hey, I know you don't really know me. I know of you. You do posing with your clients. Do you mind if I pay you and I just jump in and you guys teach me how to pose with your clients? Even though I'm not one of your clients. He's like, no charge, just jump in. We're already doing it. I don't mind.
Wow.
So I'm like, awesome. So
Mike is cool like that. Yeah.
I joined a lot of his posing sessions. We were doing some posing together. I came out every week before my show to learn as much as I could, and then I felt like I was part of their community. And then it slowly transitioned to then me joining on his team. And then I got to see a lot of what he does as a coach. And I'm like, man, you are so great at so many of these things and you're loved by so many people, but you have no idea how to advertise it. Terrible at social media. You barely post and you're very busy. It's hard to do that aspect.
Sure.
So over time, him and I ended up linking up together as partners, made the company Center Stage Aesthetics. And we made this posing clinic that we do once a month. And it's $10, which is nothing, pretty much. It's just them paying the gym to enter. We don't make any money off of it. And these people come in, they're now part of this community, even though they're not our clients, all of them, but there's a bunch of coaches that come, they bring their clients, they're part of Center Stage Aesthetics, they get to pose together. It's a place where you feel safe because when you're a bodybuilder, it's really hard. If you have a show, say there's a show that just passed this weekend, December 9th. So these people competed in the middle of winter. 10 days ago was Thanksgiving. Can you imagine 8 days out, your family's cooking turkey, all this stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'm on prep. I got to do cardio, and I can't eat all that. I got to bring my own food.
I can't eat any of it.
Any of it. I was actually on prep, and I was supposed to compete November 2nd. This is 2020, my second show I ever did. And because of COVID, they pushed the show a month later, so now it's December 2nd. So my peak week started on Thanksgiving, and I'm like, fuck. So I brought over fish and rice, ate my fish and rice. Everyone's like, is it really that serious? I'm like, you don't get that support from people. They don't get it because they don't know that level. They're like, it's one meal. I'm like, it's not one meal. It's a lot. And if you're going to do something, do it right. It's not. Thanksgiving comes every year. I don't know how many times I'm going to compete in my life.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't diet 18 weeks to fuck it over on a Thanksgiving meal.
Right, on some
like,
stuffing. I'm like, put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
I'll eat it in a week.
Yeah.
If you really want it.
Yeah.
But it's so they don't really get that common aspect that now you create this environment where these people meet up that all understand what you're going through, how much it sucks to have brain fog, to diet, to do cardio you don't want to wake up and to build that structure into your life to where you are. So now that you have this community that you show up, you're posing, you say hi to all these friends, you follow each other, and now you can go out and hang out with people and do things that aren't just food driven, because half the time when you go out, everyone's like, what do you want to go eat? Or, they're snacking on something. And everything involves food, and then you're just kind of being baited into drinking or eating something you don't need to be, and then you're off those goals. And now a lot of people I've seen have met a lot of people in the community, and they get to hang out and just have like-minded people, not force them into a bad situation.
It's funny because as we get into the new year, a lot of people are going to have their resolutions to get in better shape or to lose weight. And the one thing about working out is it just starts with like your first time just going, whether it's you go for 20 minutes and you end up being there for 40 minutes or whatever the case. But a lot of people, when they talk about either bodybuilders or somebody that lost a lot of weight, they don't realize the amount of discipline that's required. And when you hear like your story talking about going to Thanksgiving dinner on peak week and you can't fucking eat nothing, like, one, you don't even feel like part of the family at Thanksgiving dinner because everybody else is like sitting there with their pants unbuckled, right? But two,
like it stinks.
Yeah, that's like every day. And I know Kyle comes from the military. I do as well. And you talk about even the most elite of the elite in the military, while they're extremely disciplined in a lot of things they do, like there's something different about a diet like that, right? It's an extreme aspect that to me is something I've never dedicated myself to actually putting myself into that diet, just because it's like there's a lot of prep that goes into it. Like I travel a lot for work or things like that. So then I think to myself, man, how am I going to prep all this food? Then I got to pack it. Where am I going to heat it up when I'm on the road? Or if I'm going to heat it up or I'm just going to eat it cold? And then I just give up to it. Like I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do it, whatever it is. You don't have that option when you guys are prepping for something like that.
Yeah, well, one thing I'll say, it's kind of like a two-sided coin on that. Yeah, we literally, like, we get in this routine where we're just like, eat the meal. My alarm goes on my phone, eat the meal. My alarm goes off on the phone, eat the meal. But I will say, and this is more for like the New Year's resolution or people that are just starting to get out, we're not perfect either. I mean, I guarantee you, Dejan and myself
ate 2 tubs of ice cream 2 weeks out.
Yeah, exactly. we all have one of those stories where we're like, oh man, there's a good friend of mine. His name's Eric Wood. He's like an IFBB pro. He's probably the best bodybuilder in Ohio. He's a top 5 first call out open bodybuilding pro. Dude's massive. He's getting ready to do North Americans, right? He just came off of 2 second place finishes at nationals in a row, missed his pro card by 1 slot. Very, very good. Got beat by like Nick Walker and Hunter Labrada, who are both ridiculous, right? Anyways, he goes into nationals and then, we got it from nationals and he's got this coach, Andrew Vu, and he just is like mentally just having a hard time, right? Fucking goes in the pantry and eats like, I don't remember what he said, don't quote me on it, but like 4 boxes of cream of rice. And there's like probably, I don't know, 8,000 calories in that, and he's dumping shit in it, whatever. He just went off the deep end, and he talked to his coach. His coach like, snap out of it, do your cardio, get back on your plan, whatever. And he goes to North Americans and actually wins Mr. North America, which is crazy. Wow. But even what I mean by that is even the best of the best bodybuilders, they fall off the plan every once in a while. It's not whether you fall off; it's about picking yourself up and being consistent again. You know what I mean? You can have a bad day, but you don't want that bad day to turn into a bad week and then a bad month and you know whatnot. So
yeah, and if I don't know if you guys have read the book. I kind of tried to draw on a blank, but it's about basically habits and things like that. Atomic Habits, but where he talks about, he's like, look, if you want to create a new habit, like set up your plan for what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and then just try to do it. Like if you don't do it the one day, that doesn't mean the next day don't try. Just try again. Like eventually, like it'll stick.
Dude, when I coach people, it's so funny because like, this is so hard. I can't get in this. You know, I'm like, bro, I'm asking you to fucking walk. Okay, get steps in. Walk. Okay. I'm asking you to sit in hot water or cold water, either ice bath or a salt bath 2 times a week. I'm asking you to go into the gym for an hour, which is to me that's the easy part because I enjoy doing that. Yeah. I'm asking you to put a fork to your food into your mouth 5-6 times a day. Like these aren't like, oh man, I can't eat. Well, you eat every fucking day. I can't
Tuesday
walk.
triathlon.
Yeah.
It's like that's how humans used to live.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to
miles.
climb Mount Everest here. You know what I mean? Like we're just, these are basic things. It's just remembering to do them and getting in a routine where you're doing it every single day. I mean, really, the stuff we do is really mundane. It's really easy stuff.
Yep.
It's just making sure we do it all.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I want to get into your guys' stories a little bit. Kyle, yours is a little separate. Let's start with yours, Dan, because obviously you kind of touched on it a little bit. But obviously anybody can get to the fitness community, right?
Just anybody who just wants to better themselves.
Yeah.
Depending on what level you want to get to.
Let's talk about that level for you, because if your backstory a little bit, Yugoslavia, right? Refugee here 25, 30 years ago. Is that right?
So 1997, I was turning 3. That's when I came to America. My mom, war was going on. She just took me and left. So it was just me and my mom growing up my life. I don't know my father. And I have no family, which the hardest part about that is genetics. I have no idea what I'm getting into. I don't know. I have ulcerative colitis. I don't know if anyone else has ulcerative colitis in my family. I don't know what to expect. She doesn't know much. They don't really keep track of that kind of stuff in Europe. So I don't really have a lot of back end story when it's like, what is your family history on? I'm like, we'll see. Are you allergic to anything? We'll see.
Yeah, I am the family history.
Yeah,
You're
this
looking
is
at
me, which is like one of the main reasons I really wanted kids to, expand that now. So thank goodness that happened.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I came here when I was 3. Didn't really have the resources to be an athlete or do much in my life just because mom's in poverty. I lived in Section 8 housing. It's $50 a month. And, all my life I was bullied. I was a bigger kid. I mean, again, didn't have the resources to know better. We ate what we could, ramen noodles, mac and cheese. You can only imagine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a contributing factor to so much of the processed food that I had to eat was one of the main reasons I ended up having gynecomastia, which I got at like the age of 9,
Holy
10.
shit.
So I've always had man boobs all my life. So I never took my shirt off as a kid, which led me to get bullied a lot. And then I never learned how to swim because I didn't want to take my shirt off. So I still can't swim because now I'm just heavy and dense and sink. But yeah, so that was just a big part of my life. So as I kind of got a little bit older, I started like YouTube was a thing. So I started learning like how to do magic tricks. And I became like a slightly world-renowned magician who was ranked in the U.S. And
swear to God, every week I learn something crazy about something.
I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome.
Who would have known?
That's really neat.
yeah, if you have a deck of cards, I got you. But yeah, I was 8th in Ohio, 42nd in the U.S., 97th in the world for people under 21. And I was 17 when I got to that point. And I learned all of that off just YouTube, self-taught. But same thing with working out. I looked up stuff on YouTube, learned as much as I could, and I wanted to get into fitness, working out. I remember my first day in the gym, I was 16. I went to FitWorks. I was going to sign up, and I go there for about a week or 2 for their trial, and I see this guy. His name is Big Bill. He was supposed to come today, but he didn't. This man is so big, and he's the nicest guy if you talk to him, but he's so big, I was intimidated. I can't be here. I don't deserve to walk on this ground.
He's like 6'4", isn't he? Like
He's like 6'1", but he's 330,
He's
and
huge.
he's maybe,
He's huge.
12% body fat, so he's always big. He's also ex-military, and he wakes up every morning, no matter if he spent 20 hours in Put-in Bay and does an hour stair stepper, no matter what. And
Verified.
He's
by the
got
way.
some crazy discipline.
I fact checked that. They said it does not matter, dude. He's there,
Yeah. So
sweating it out.
so I'm like, man. So I see this guy, and I'm like, I'm too intimidated to come here. I couldn't do it. I literally left, and I went to YMCA, and it was free. And I worked out there for a year, and then I was like, now I got some muscle. I deserve to come back. and then I came back. So once the magic thing kind of fell through, because I kind of felt like I peaked. I was on MTV Made for a little bit before and all this, and when I didn't get picked, I was just like, well, now what? I don't know. So I just decided not to do it anymore. I joined a breakdancing crew for a bit. That fell through after 2 years. And then I got, I want to be a bodybuilder. But I can't do it anymore on my own. That's when I hired my first bodybuilding coach, Brian, and kind of went from there, learned more fitness to want to take it to the next level and get better. Obviously, my biggest resistance was the gynecomastia. And even the 2 shows that I did, I was bombed quite a bit for it. Steroid use, like instantly. And I'm like, no, I've had it since I was 9, but okay,
Ironically, a lot of PEDs can cause gynecomastia if you don't have your estrogen in check.
Oh, really?
But it does happen quite frequently to many adolescent and teen boys that were growing up, and their hormones through puberty just cause them to develop mass, and just their estrogen levels are unchecked. And probably being in the situation you're in, you probably didn't have a lot of great health care and stuff, so you weren't going to the doctor for it. The doctor couldn't send you to an endocrinologist to check your estrogen levels and your prolactin levels and things like that to make sure that they're in range. Otherwise, could have been maybe prevented, I'm sure.
I had it my whole life too. That's like if you watch my videos, I talk about orangutan titties all the time. I got made fun of at a pool because of that. And I've used that phrase to change other men. But yeah, I had surgery from it in the Marine Corps because the flak when I'd wear my heavy ass pack and shit, it would hurt really bad.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
But I had to pay for it out of pocket because it's considered
cosmetic.
Cosmetic. It was like $7,000, and I was only making $800 every 2 weeks in the Marine Corps.
Put me on the forever repayment plan.
There's a guy that pushes it through insurance. I know he's out of Crystal Clinic, and if you go in there, even as like a bodybuilder, that it's not how you got it. Like I know bodybuilders are going like, I've had this since I was a kid, and he's like, oh yeah, for sure, we'll take it out, and he bills the insurance somehow. I don't know how it's coded,
but it's a real thing. So you mentioned like obviously processed foods and things like that.
Yeah, it doesn't contribute well. But I mean, to me, what's crazy is like you said that you paid $8,000. I paid luckily I think $5,600, but I have to come out of pocket to pay for this thing that almost pretty much ruined my childhood and made me who I am, which, God bless, it probably is a reason why I'm where I am and what I do. But then it's like at the same time, if I'm 12, 13, 20, 30, doesn't matter. And I'm like, I kind of want to just have a vagina today. And it's free now, covered under our health care. And they put you through the whole protocol. Here's your testosterone, whatever you want.
Yeah, just shove you full of drugs.
Here you are. And I'm like, really?
But you can't get more testosterone to be feel more like a man.
Right. Even if you test that bare minimum, you're like, that's still enough.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude. When you go into you talk about all those different things when it comes to healthcare and stuff like that, that is insane. Well, that's like we're gonna have pH Performance on in a couple weeks, but one of the big things. I don't know if you guys you ever heard of Ways to Well.
Yes.
But they talk about you go to your doctor's office and they could do a full blood panel whenever they want. Mm-hmm. And we would be able to pre-diagnose a lot of things like diabetes and all these different health things that we have years and years in advance of you actually getting it so that you can make a change in your life. But the pharmacy managers don't want to pay the doctors, the insurance companies don't want to pay the doctors to do that, because then if you do that and you start actually helping people and they don't get sick, well, guess what? Then we don't get all the money when they get sick, and we have to pump them full of these bullshit drugs that we're all sick.
We're in the business of keeping people sick.
RFK is going to fix that shit, though.
I
hope so, man. That was a big part of
I have a story. I have a story on that. I have a friend that was a doctor. He went to medical school, did all that, worked at a hospital for about a year. He was actually, instead of prescribing pills and all that, he was trying to make up health plans that would get him off the medication, eating plans that would get him off the medication. He actually got pulled aside by the hospital administrator, telling him, you got to prescribe more pills, you got to get people back on medication.
I know exactly who it was. He prescribed also food for people and healthy, gym memberships, which is a thing.
Yeah, and he's like, and then eventually he's like, I'm tired of this. He's like, there's better ways of, instead of pills, shots, needles. He's like, I'm done. He literally left his practice, and now he does health, what's it called, health training and all that stuff over the web now.
That's crazy.
I have a similar story when I was in the Marine Corps. My neighbor's wife was a therapist for kids, and they were like, you have to prescribe X amount a week. And 2 kids, so she ended up quitting too.
Oh, yeah. I had a really hard conversation with my wife. My son has maybe 3 or 4 vaccines, and right now we have Medicaid, so it's you have to go to a certain center to do, and it's really inconvenient, but they do it. And then I'm like, I saw this post and did so much research, and it's by the lifespan of a kid's age, I can't remember the exact number, but I believe it's about 172 vaccines that they get. And I'm just like, there's no way. I've had almost none, and I'm never sick, never. And I talked to her, and I was like, I'd rather just say for religious reasons, we don't want to do any vaccines.
Yeah.
And, eventually she started doing more research, came to the conclusion, and we're probably not going to do any vaccines for our kids as our choice. And my son still, he's almost 2, and he's never been sick.
Yeah, I love capitalism. I think capitalism is awesome, right? Except for in the healthcare industry, if that makes sense. Because like put it this way, when you break your arm, are you going to shop for the best deal? You know what I mean?
No,
when
course
you
not.
need a medication and an authority is telling you that you need this, someone that you're trusting that went to school for 8+ years,
Yeah.
so you need this medication, you're just going to take their word for it. It's not like going and buying a car and you could do your own research or whatever. No, you have to be able to trust your doctor, and you have to be able to go to the nearest place to get the best care. And so that's where, like, I think I'm generally a capitalist, but I think in the free market, the industry is messed up. And not to mention, right now there's like a shortage of IV bags. I don't know if you know about this or not, but there's a bunch of medical supplies that are on a shortage, especially these IV bags because of the hurricane. Because the hurricane came in and took out the main facility that makes and distributes these IV bags. Well, it's like a proprietary thing for them. So now, because we only have one IV bag company, we have a shortage of all these bags.
Upcharge.
We don't have other companies to compete with this company because that's not how it works. They own the rights to it or whatever. I could be wrong on how I'm saying this, but on the logistics of it. But yeah, there's a huge shortage, and so like even when I got my drip today, they're like, oh, we can only give you a half bag because there's a shortage. So.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not paying for a half bag.
Yeah,
So
well, they charge me half price, but still, like I was like, I'm taking my time out of the day to come up here to get what I need. Like, give it to me,
Yeah, that's insane.
Refill the bag, use it.
Yeah, you just put tap water in it. Yeah.
My wife's a nurse. Well, she just retired because she's coming full time to work for me.
Oh, cool.
But like, seeing travel nurses get $70 an hour, like if you don't think that comes back on our hospital bills, are crazy. It was cool to see my wife make that kind of money, but every time she would, I'd be like, dude, we're paying for that.
Yeah.
Like we have the most expensive healthcare, and we died the most during the forever flu.
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. And now we're paying the price afterwards too, right? And it's crazy because to this day, like, nobody will ever just say, like, it's funny. You ever seen those memes where it's like gym class in the 50s versus gym class now? And like everybody now is playing on their cell phone. And in the 50s, like you had a bunch of like 160-pound boys, which were almost looked more manly than half the 25-year-olds I see today. And they're like doing pull-ups. They're ripped with 6-packs, like because they ate better food, because they actually had to exercise in gym class. Remember, you had to actually do like a timed mile and push-ups and stuff like that. Now, like you can't do any of that because somebody's going to get their feelings hurt because they can't do it. The parents are going to blame the fact that I don't have time to cook dinner. I don't have it. Look, my parents, even on our hardest time, could make ground turkey for sloppy joes, and that was a lot better than buying something in a box that you're buying now or going to McDonald's. Every day I pass the McDonald's drive-thru at 3:30, there's a line of 100 cars to go through their 3 lanes of their drive-thru down the street because all these people are leaving the school they just picked up their kids at and are driving to get here. Let's just get you a Happy Meal real quick, instead of, having something at home that they could cook them that's a little bit healthier. And then you wonder why so many kids, like you talked about, 75% of men are overweight right now. I just saw something the other day. It was like 62% of kids are already overweight. Like,
I'm obese tier 1 technically, but
me too.
Fast food used to be a rarity. Like growing up, I would go like once a month, and it'd be like, oh my god, we got it. And now like
McDonald's,
people go all three meals.
Yeah.
Like, parents are taking their kids, and they're like, why can't we afford to live? Like you're spending $100 a day on fast food.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy because you talk about $100 a day. Like you're right. Like Friday night, like it'd be a big deal. With like me and the family, or my dad we would go out to Montrose, and basically you went window shopping because you have enough money to buy anything. But like you might go to the mall or go to Best Buy or something, and then you'd stop at Taco Bell, and like we're all like, sweet, we're getting Taco Bell, and this is when it's like a 79-cent burrito. Yeah. You get a taco for 80 cents. Now you go to Taco Bell and a regular bean burrito is like $2 and it's like, so like, yeah, now you get a burger or whatever and fries at McDonald's. It's like $12-13. I'm like, that is not cheaper than eating.
No, now
like,
it's just the convenience.
You can't use that excuse anymore.
To me, it's like you're just being lazy. Like, oh, I don't have time to cook. Motherfucker, let me check your screen time on your phone, okay? Bet it's 3 hours. I guarantee you it's 2 to 3 hours a daily.
If not 6.
If not 6, 7, 8. You have time to fuck around on your phone all day, but you don't have time to cook your kids dinner? Like, where are your priorities at? You know what I mean?
And if it's fast food, I mean, you got to think, if you cook chicken and rice, whatever you're making, you leave it on the counter for 4 or 5 hours, you might get, sick. So if you're going in the drive-thru and you're getting your food in 20 seconds, that food's cooked, done, and just sitting there waiting for you. So it's It's not good.
Yeah, it's a recipe
All
for
processed.
disaster.
It's just sad you have to go to the store and look for grass-fed beef or pasteurized eggs, and just it should all just be that way.
That goes back to like the Thanksgiving thing you were talking about. Like they'll make fun of you, but like that's how we're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like it's called a diet, and it's just how humans were created to eat.
and you know what I'll tell you too? When you follow a strict diet and you eat like pretty like normal food, when you have a free meal or a meal, like a special occasion, when you go out to eat, you know, out to dinner maybe once a week or once every couple weeks, that food will taste so much better to you than it ever has. If you eat that shit every
dopamine
day,
rush.
yeah, exactly, dude. If you eat that shit every day, you're gonna like. It's gonna be just nothing special. Oh, I just ate it, and then you're gonna have all these digestive problems. You'll be on the toilet, you know, all the time, and it's not good. But if you eat healthy food all the time, then when you go have a pizza or whatever, you're like, man, this is awesome, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Kyle, now you mentioned that your wife's going to come work for you, and obviously we talked a little bit about joking about some hate that you got. So let's hear your story a little bit. Obviously, you lost a ton of weight. Did that on your own, I'm assuming, or was that kind of through? And then, you know, what was that process? Could you quit drinking?
Yeah.
Kind of found something spiritually as well as far as like internally. Let's hear a little bit about your life and where
I
you're
was
at.
just sitting at that desk one day, and I'm like, I cannot do this for the next 40 years. And I used to be a fitness coach, and then I got canceled on the internet, and so I'm like, fuck, I make $100,000 in the corporate world. I don't need these douchebags talking shit to me on the internet. So then I got off social medias, but I just didn't feel like I was living a life of purpose. So I started losing weight, and like my business, I give all my credit. Wes Watson's the one that taught me how to monetize and make as much money as I do. Minimum, I make like $1,500 a day now.
Wow.
Just because I'm always going viral. If a million people are watching you a day, it's easy to sell a $750 package.
Wow.
The internet, you don't need a lot of followers because some of my clients don't even follow me because like they just don't like social media. It's like they'll find me, they'll sign up with me, and then I move on. And I changed my family tree, my kids' lives, my wife's life. I got to retire her. And it all just started with just feeling like I didn't have a purpose anymore. And I just wanted to find my purpose. So I hired a mentor and I got back into coaching. I lost all my weight. And my story is really what gets me the most clients because you'll have these fucking fitness people on here, like a 20-year-old kid that's shredded just because he's young, trying to sell like a 30-year-old person a plan. And that fucking kid has no life experience. Like no one's going to listen to you. Like I was a Marine Corps veteran. I was extremely high in the corporate world. I started out the bottom level in the corporate world and became a plant manager making $100,000 within 2 years. And then I have an ISSA master trainer certification, a Six Sigma black belt, which is like I can save a business $1 million a year. So I package all that into just a giant mindset program, and I set myself apart because I say like crazy shit on the internet. Like I'm like, if you don't like me, suck my dick from the back, and it just people go nuts. Like, bro, no one says shit like this anymore.
Dude, the Lean Sigma 6 thing is a real deal too.
And
A
it's
lot of
hard to
companies are like
pass.
that. Yeah, that's no joke.
People
Yeah.
like talk shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm way more intelligent than you also. Because they're like, you have tattoos, you must be an idiot. Like, bro, I will fuck you up in an IQ test.
Yeah.
Like I have a Six Sigma black belt, agile, scrum, human resourcing, business management. And I was like so big. I was a project manager and a plant manager. And they wanted me to do the plant management over all businesses from Spain to Mexico to my China, like all of them, bro. And like, so when people come on the internet, they're like, I bet you don't even know how to spell. Like, bitch, I have a best-selling book. Like
Yeah,
you guys just
ChatGPT
speak
now,
on
we
the
don't need
internet, bro. It's crazy. Like the internet is full of fucking losers trying to tell people that are actually doing something to change.
Well, and I think that's too, you get in those 20-second clips, like people hear one thing, they don't know anything about you, so they just stop. Like as soon as somebody doesn't hear something they like, they're like, oh, fuck this guy, talk a
They'll
bunch of shit.
discredit it.
Right. Whereas if they would actually dig into it, like, you know, yeah, you might talk some shit, you might say some things that are harsh, but at the same point in time, like you still care, you want people to get better, you want people to improve their lives.
Or they just make shit up, bro. Like like one video went viral and they're like, we heard you got kicked out of the Marine Corps. And everybody started repeating it like it was true. So I post my DD 214. They're like, "Oh, you let comments get to you?" I'm like, "You guys are fucking losers. Will do
win.
anything to
You
make
can't
you
win.
lose.
Can't
You
win, dude.
It's like the
Cannot.
same thing, like you were bringing up. Oh, it's just steroids. Like, but like if you weren't on steroids, it'd be like, "Oh, you're not even in that great a shape." Like
Yeah.
they just flip the narrative as soon as they want to try to ruin your image.
They just need something to make themselves feel better
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
their underachievements. And
Yeah,
that's basically
100%.
what it is.
All right, so now are you doing it for only veterans? You helping other people in general
So
too? Like how
the
do you
reason
get your
I just
clients?
say veterans the most is because I want to have a sober house in every single state eventually. Like my ultimate goal is to get the 22-day number down before I die.
That's awesome.
But I coach everyone. Like my motto is making better parents through tough love because they need that. Like that needs brought back to tenfold. Like if you're fat and your belly's hanging over your belt buckle, someone needs to tell you like, bro, you should not look like that.
Yeah.
And if your kids are fat, you should smack yourself in the fucking mouth because that's child abuse.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to tell you that. And if you don't like me, I don't give a fuck because that heart attack isn't going to ask permission before it kills you. I watched someone die, shit and piss themselves because of a heart attack, and he was 40. When we cracked open his semi, nothing but Mountain Dew bottles and fast food wrappers fell out. It doesn't matter if I called him fat the day before and I defended him because a fucking heart attack don't care about your feelings, bro.
Yeah.
A stroke doesn't care about your feelings. Like, oh, none of it cares. None of it matters. And like, they'll come on the internet and people like that do gear, they're like, oh, you're going to die so soon. Dude, Arnold's still alive. Sylvester Stallone's still alive. But all these motherfuckers are dying at rapid rates and cancer's at an all-time high. But they like pinpoint one thing, like steroids are bad. Like, but all the shit we do because America makes so much money off of it, they act like it's good.
Yeah.
And it's fucking mangling us, bro. We're like the highest heart attack rate in the world.
Dude, it's insane. Yeah, just in general, the United States is not one of the healthiest. We talked about a couple episodes about like, how food is different in these other countries, how things like that. But we have so much more capability here in this country. But obviously technology's kind of made it a little bit easier for kids to just sit in their room or God forbid sit in the schools. Like the fact that the schools let these kids be on their phone during the day fucking boggles my mind. I complained about it during COVID all the time because I'm like, I get it that they can't move around. They got to be a distance, but like you have like 30 kids on the playground sitting in their own individual corners by themselves on their cell phone. Like what the fuck, dude?
And it makes dumb people feel smart because I like let's say you'll say something about bodybuilding, some fucking goofball kid in his mom's basement will Google the exact opposite answer.
Yeah,
because you can get any answer you want. You're fucking wrong, bro. It's this, like the science-based lifter, like we were talking about Mike and Jeff. Like he antagonized that dude, then he did what he needed to do, and now the internet's like, you're a bad guy. Like if I don't like you, don't come to my fucking face.
Right.
Like everyone's playing victim nowadays, and like they think they're so intelligent because they can Google the opposite, but you can get any answer you want in today's society. Like it's crazy.
Well, let's talk about this though. So, going into the new year, if somebody's trying to get in shape and they start going to the gym, how do you guys select the gyms that you guys work out? Like, what? You talked about yours a little bit. The first time you went into a gym was a little intimidating.
Yes.
We talked about Planet Fitness and how
if you go into the gym and there's a lunk alarm, leave. That's what I was saying.
So here,
find your personality in the gym.
Yeah.
Like Ontario looks like grungy and gangster, and that's how I grew up. So like that's why I relate to that one.
Sure.
Or Medina's the same way.
Yeah.
It just matches my personality. Just find something that matches your personality. And I have a Planet Fitness membership because I travel so much.
Same
But
here.
it's more judgmental than all the gyms, and it claims it's not
100%
judgmental.
judgmental.
The most toxic gym of all the gyms.
Yeah, but they've got a great model. Just
They
sign
do.
up everybody so it's cheap enough they never cancel.
They're too lazy.
Like I saw a
That's
stat the other
100%
day.
how it works, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw a stat the other day that the average Planet Fitness membership nationwide attends the gym 3 to 5 times a year and has had their membership for over 5 years.
It's like Netflix, dude. Like you sign up for Netflix, you're like, $10 a month, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna never watch it, whatever. I'm watching Hulu or whatever, and you have all these subscriptions. Then all of a sudden you're like, shit, dude, I spend fucking $150 a month in subscriptions I don't use.
Yeah, you ever see those commercials for like, what is it? It's like Rocket something or whatever, where it'll tell you how many subscriptions you have. I was like, I don't see those ads anymore. I was like, Netflix probably fucking got that fucking
But
if
if you call Planet Fitness and try to cancel, like you have to come in person. So that's why no one cancels.
Yeah.
Well, and they put them in like pretty nice areas too, because number one, like rich people, they want like a clean facility, which they provide.
Yes.
They're not gonna show up as consistently as maybe people that aren't as busy working and stuff, whatever, that aren't like working 60, 70 hours a week to maintain their lifestyle.
Sure.
So, it's a great business model. They do the model itself is really good. I actually have a friend who has a similar model. He has a really cheap gym membership, but it's more of like what you want Planet Fitness to be. It's called Fit for You in Parma. They have one in Parma and one in Massillon, and it's kind of cool. It's like you could tell a bodybuilder took that business model, but then picked out all the equipment because they're all like Cybex and lifestyle equipment, brand new, really nice shit. And he's got like a Pit Shark belt squat, which is like the godfather of all belt squats. They have a pendulum squat, some hammer strength, really nice hammer strength equipment. But it's set up really nice, clean gym. Like you could eat off the floor type of stuff, and it's cheap. It's like $15 a month, and
Wow.
people just they just roll with it because it's so cheap.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Crunch Fitness, I travel a lot. They're the same way. It's like what Planet Fitness should have been.
Yeah,
They're
I
a little
do-
bit more expensive, but
Yeah, I like Crunch.
yeah, they're like real
Yeah.
gyms though.
Yeah.
But
I
they're
mean-
still cheap compared to like other
For sure.
gyms.
Yeah.
Like him, like I was saying, I also have a Planet Fitness membership. I go there maybe once or twice a week. And the hardest thing about beating a Planet Fitness is for $20 a month to get tanning. I mean,
Yeah. Red
a
light.
tanning place is $60 to $80 a month if you really get a good tanning bed. Now pay $20. Now you have a tanning membership. You have a gym that you can go no matter where you travel, because there's one everywhere.
Everywhere.
So that's just convenient no matter what to at least stop in somewhere. And it is pretty much 24/7. So
Yeah.
like if I'm doing arms or shoulders, which I just need a set of dumbbells usually,
Yeah.
I'll go to Planet Fitness. That way I can just tan real quick. And then the bigger muscle groups, I'll actually do at a real gym.
Do you ever have like a problem when you go in there with people like talking to you or like bro, what's the secret or whatever, and they like 'cause I get harassed when I've gone to Planet Fitness.
I mean, for the most part at mine and Kent, they've all been pretty nice to me. I would even say I've even picked up a couple of clients, and even like if I'm posing or just like checking myself out, no one ever says anything. I've never been lunk alarmed. I think they're a lot more understanding than that. And even me being a bigger guy, I know what it's like the Bill situation, to be intimidated. I don't want to make someone feel like their goals are lesser.
Yeah.
So I usually don't really dress what I normally dress to the gym to
Yeah,
PF.
yeah.
But I'll see these guys wear 20 times worse than I wear at my gym at Planet Fitness, and I'm like, are you allowed to wear that? I don't know. I'm all right, not my business.
No, you guys all go to Planet Fitness? Like,
well, I don't. I actually got kicked out of one.
okay,
once.
I got kicked out of them twice.
I've
So-
I've never been kicked out, but
That's
I've
'cause
been
you're on
lunk alarmed
steroids.
once, maybe twice.
I got kicked out of
Yeah, they
a
asked me to
No,
leave.
since
Yeah.
you guys still go, do they still have like not donut day, bagel day or pizza day? Since when I was last
I go like
went,
3 a.m. So
Okay,
I haven't seen that. in
I
the
don't
last
think they do
couple-
that
Okay.
anymore. I think they got a lot of slack for that.
Okay.
They got rid of the Tootsie Rolls too. I don't see
Oh
that.
my
I
God.
still see the Tootsie Rolls at the Medina
Really?
one. Yeah, Medina's got them.
They don't
but,
have them in Terry.
I agree. I mean, it's convenient. Like I travel for work. I'm in all the way from southern Ohio to the very south, and then all the way up to the very north of Michigan. So like, I can always guarantee and then even when I travel with my wife or if I go out with towns with friends or something like that, like I know there's always a Planet Fitness like within 20 fucking minutes of everywhere and anywhere.
They're
Which makes it
they're
convenient to
rebranding
at least
too,
get
though.
in there. What's that?
They're rebranding now. They're putting deadlift stuff, and they're actually getting rid of the lunk alarm.
I know. I actually,
Well,
mine
so-
just got plate loaded equipment,
Yeah.
a turf,
Yeah.
Olympic weights. I'm like,
Wow.
wow.
It's about time. Well, probably after that transgender in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
that's
Yeah.
100% what happened, bro.
Yeah.
They lost so much money, so they're trying to, because like they're running ads right now. It just popped up on my Instagram, like you're paying all this for real gyms, and Planet Fitness is actually now going to be a real gym, and it like showed like the
least they know.
deadlift platforms, and it shows like no lung. Yeah, but it's 100% because they got canceled, bro. They lost like $800 million in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
the safe gym is going to
Yeah.
let dudes in the women's restrooms.
Dude.
Yeah, that seems good. You know,
that conversation go on for hours. That boggles my mind. That's like I heard somebody on post on Facebook the other day, and I know they're extreme liberal, and they're like, oh, Trump supporters are so happy now because they're obsessed with other people's genitalia. I'm like, dude, I just don't want my fucking daughter to have to share a bathroom with a man.
Right.
Like, I don't care if he thinks he's a woman or not, dude.
Bro.
The problem is it only takes one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you let every guy say that they can pretend to be a woman and walk into a fucking girl's bathroom, if you let every person do, eventually someone's going to take advantage of that. That'd be like
yeah.
saying, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be like saying, like, I mean,
dude,
it's just,
if they had that in high school, I'd be like, I'm a woman. Let me get in the showers. You know?
I get so much hate. I didn't even know other motherfuckers thought like me. It's like you
Yeah.
guys cut open
Cat,
my
I need a
brain and
litter
say the
box.
same shit I say. Like they lose their fucking minds when I say like I had this shield. It was like I reshared it. It's like a guy underneath, like his kid was under, he's holding a shield, and there was like the rainbow coming.
Oh my
Somebody's like,
God.
"You're so fucking
a great one.
transphobic." I'm like, "Yeah, I am very scared of them talking to my kids, bro. Leave my kids alone."
Yeah, dude.
I don't give a fuck what you do, but like the fact that they're like flying it in schools, bro.
Yeah, they're promoting
Just teach
it.
my
Yeah.
fucking kids how
English.
to get a good job. Bitch.
Yeah.
I don't like this lady came online. She's like, these parents took their kids out of my class because I'm transgender. Like that's so unfair. Like fuck you, bro. Everyone should have took their kids out.
yeah,
of
stop telling everybody that you're
Yeah.
transgender. Like, that's the other
Just-
thing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Me
the point
either.
is that they make it a big deal. Like, that you have to, like,
Yeah.
Do
you can
not
do
tell
what
my
you
kids
want.
that. Harvard ran a study that the people that are gay or transgender, that what they were around when they were younger has a significant impact on it. So like all these people repeating like it doesn't matter if they're around it. Like that's not what the fucking studies say. You guys just hope it sticks and people keep repeating it.
yeah, it's insane. And once again, it's something to focus on to take away from all the other problems, which going back to what we talked about is health and people taking more focus on themselves and being better. And like you said, you guys have kids. I have a daughter. Everybody at this table except Evan, so get to working, babe.
Thank God.
I like traveling too much. I like adventuring.
They
around
can
the
travel.
World. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
mobile.
take the kids with you,
true.
dude.
Homeschooling in the
Dude,
truck. I don't know.
Yeah, they make backpacks. You just throw them in, dude, bundle them up, and
Bro,
roll
I
out.
had one of those, like the baby
had
joint for my
one,
daughter. Dude, I carry it everywhere that thing. I didn't give a fuck, dude. I was like, all right, whatever.
Dude, I believe that because I remember. I'll never forget. We walked into the
That's
skating
your
rink
rucking.
one time. Yeah, it's your rucking. Yeah,
Yeah.
every day, ruck with your kid on your
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
I literally posted yesterday. I'm holding my daughter daughter on the stair stepper because she was crying and my wife was too overwhelmed. I'm like, all right, I'm doing cardio. I'm on level 1 because I'm carrying this 20-pound shit bag. So my heart rate's 150.
That's right.
Dude, I seen Nick in the skating rink the other day, skating around with his kids. He's got a big old dude wearing this extra small shirt with a big fanny pack on
I got
the
my
top.
thing on right now. Big Marlboro Reds.
I'm like, look at this
badass.
gym dad, dude, just out there getting it on some roller skates with his kids.
That's
Like,
good cardio.
yeah, it is. And I think when it comes to the fitness community too, and how these kids are, and it really comes to the fact like you guys are all fathers, you're all involved with your kids' lives, right? Like it's what you're teaching them right now. Like you mentioned, like if you're letting your kid get fat, well, you know, it is a choice. Like as a parent, you have that choice to say, hey, let's go exercise together. Let's go do something together.
I'd
And-
say it's a responsibility,
It's
not even just a
100%
choice.
Yeah.
responsibility. You
Yeah.
should fucking smack yourself if your kid's obese.
Yeah, and-
you're setting them up to get picked on like we did, but we didn't have a choice because we had gyno.
Yeah.
Like, and then people are like, well, they shouldn't bully, but bullies fucking exist, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just fucking don't set your kids up for failure.
That's that whole like what do they talk about like with the kids in the essay? I don't want to say something that will get you canceled, but you know, oh, we should teach our men not to do that. Well, of course, but you should also teach your women how to protect themselves
Like,
too, because
100%.
it's going to happen whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes.
I don't understand society. They're like, well, they just shouldn't do that. Well, they fucking do, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and America's still one of the safest countries. Go somewhere else with that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Go be a transgender and the motherfucker will blow your head off if you walk through the country.
Yeah, fucking. You talk
Like-
about like, it's free Palestine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
go ahead and be
Yeah,
a
go over
transgender.
there.
And fucking
Yeah, go wear your dress over there, brother.
Dude, the same people that have free Palestine in it will have like the rainbow flag and a bunch
blows
of
my
shit.
fucking
Dude,
mind,
I
like-
screenshot it every time and just send it to my friends. Like, look at these fucking.
Do
They're
you realize
sheep,
you'd
bro.
be fucking like chopped in half
Dude,
like the
for
second
sure.
you walk over there?
You know what's crazy is you know how many gay people I know that are like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like they, even
yeah.
like I know some like pretty reasonably good gay people that are like, yeah, no, dude, this isn't good for anybody. I'm not like that. I don't want to be involved in that.
I can show you screenshots. I have tons of gay clients because they're like, dude, I'm old school gay. I love your shit. Like, because
Yeah.
they're sick of this shit, bro. Everyone's sick of this shit.
My wife's one friend's gay, and he's like, he's pretty cool dude. He's a conservative, Trump supporter. He actually has a hard time dating dudes, which is funny. But he's like, I'm not gay. I'm just a dude that likes dudes. I'm like, you're gay, Scott. That's what gay is. Okay, it's cool, man. Just whatever. Just don't, whatever.
But when it comes to that kind of thing, if you're like Bruce Jenner and you're that old and you want to be Caitlyn Jenner, bro, it's your life. It's
Yeah,
what you want.
sure.
Just don't
I
do it
agree
to
with
my
that.
12-year-old.
But
dude.
like, when
100%.
you're signing a paper, like, hey, you can treat my kid at the school, and as soon as you sign that, you now give the school the consent to examine your child, and they can actually prescribe your child a sex change in school and not inform you. So now your child can be going through a sex change, and by 15, your son's now a daughter. You didn't even know he's doing that, and they don't tell you. And the fact they can do that, I was so scared. Like, I'm so scared to put my kid in school with that. Like, I don't want that to. They don't know what they want yet. If they want to be a change gender when they're 40, like, I mean, all right.
If I
that's
caught
not
one of
me,
them
but-
outside, I would do the most heinous shit to them.
Life and love.